Now, the next leg of our journey through the beautiful river systems here of Europe is a place I hadn't heard a lot about, but it's one of the major ports here in Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to love this. Welcome to Antwerp, right here in Belgium. After almost reaching the outer west coast of the Netherlands, the scenic Pearl has cruised back inland to the east for the beginning of our two-city tour of Belgium. Antwerp's port has always been one of Europe's trading hubs, and many of the city's original merchant shipping buildings remain. Going back even further in time is the meat house, or butcher's hall. Built in the early 1500s, the meat market features alternating rows of red brick and white sandstone. They became known locally as bacon layers. The oldest building that remains from Antwerp's earliest days is a castle called the Steen. The lower part of the structure dates back to the 12th century. The upper part was restored in the late 19th century. Over its entrance arch is a bas-relief of Semini, the Scandinavian god of youth and fertility. Now, here's a great story. You see, this statue here is of a ghost. His name is Lange Whopper. Now, he was part of history here for a long period of time. You see, he used to scare the living daylights out of poor people like these two guys here. They were coming home from the pub. Lange came out, scared them, they had to go and hide. So when they got home and the wife said, "Why are you so late?" they said Lange Whopper came out to scare them. And mums would tell the kids who weren't settling down and going to bed, "You better go to bed or Lange Whopper's going to get you." Hence, I think I know where the phrase "telling a whopper" came from. Probably the jewel in the crown of the city's architecture is in the centre of Antwerp. Spend some time here and you'll hear it before you see it. The bells within the magnificent spire of the Cathedral of Our Lady ring out over Antwerp on the hour. And when you do see this sprawling Gothic church, let's face it, it's hard to miss, it certainly lives up to the majesty that is promised by the bells. With over 650 years of history within its walls, the church has survived war, fire, and rampant looting. The symbol of a severed hand that you'll see crop up in sculptures around the city relates to the local legend that may have led to the name Antwerp. A giant who would cut the hand off those who wouldn't pay a toll to cross the river Schelde was eventually defeated by this young chap, Bravo, who cut off the giant's hand and chucked it into the river. For a lot of visitors, Antwerp's culinary big three are the main draw card. What's at the top of the rankings could be discussed endlessly, but for many, it has to be Belgian chocolate. It is arguably the world's benchmark. The window displays are irresistible, and you'll find yourself walking inside trance-like to try to narrow your selection of these handmade delights to fit into a box. It's an almost impossible task. What to leave out? There is no questioning the pedigree of this man's expertise in the art of chocolate making. He's been working in this shop since the age of 6, learning from his grandfather, the master chocolatier who opened this shop originally. Then again, the words Belgian and beer sit perfectly side by side like old drinking buddies. For beer lovers, if a trip to Belgium is a pilgrimage, then they'll be pleased to find that the locals regard their craft beers with a reverence usually reserved for religion. The lines are really blurred in this bar. And the one thing that you really have to make sure you get your hands on is Belgian ice cream. It is just sensational, handmade, and if you're not sure where to find it, look out for one of these. The city provided inspiration throughout the career of painter Peter Paul Rubens, one of Antwerp's favourite sons. And you too will find it very easy to immerse yourself in the city's charms, whether you're here for the food, to simply get lost in the atmosphere of the maze of squares and alleys, or for that chance encounter with an opera singer serenading you. Antwerp is just one of those cities that you really need to get off the boat and go and walk around. It's full of these beautiful, quaint cobblestone streets, Amazing restaurants, great coffee, terrific food, and of course, there's all that wonderful shopping to do. For a city of just 500,000 people, Antwerp certainly punches above its weight and will impress you. I'm just one of many first-time visitors who can't wait to come back.